The Cure of Love, Hidden Billionaire. In a city where emotions hid behind glass towers and success meant silence, there lived a man who had everything except a heart. His name was Sam Reynolds, young, wealthy, admired, yet completely untouched by feeling. And then came Julia Hart, a woman whose eyes carried warmth like sunlight through winter glass. She loved Sam with everything she had, hoping that one day his heart might answer hers. One evening, as the two sat in a luxurious restaurant surrounded by music and laughter, Julia looked at him and whispered softly, "Sam, you're here with me, right?" He didn't even look up from his phone. "Just thinking about tomorrow's deal," he said. Julia smiled sadly. "Sometimes I feel like I'm dating your business, not you." Sam stayed silent, his emotions locked away behind the walls of ambition. Moments later, Julia's hand trembled. Her breath faltered. The lights blurred and the room spun. Sam barely had time to react before she collapsed, the sound of a breaking glass echoing through the club. That night, Julia's world and his fell apart. The next morning, the smell of disinfectant filled the hospital room. Machines beeped rhythmically beside Julia's bed. Dr. Mitchell stood quietly by the door. "She's fine for now," he said, "but we'll need to run more tests." Julia tried to smile. "Maybe I'm just tired," she whispered. "Tired of loving someone who never looks back." Sam didn't reply. He couldn't. Days later, Julia received her test results. The envelope lay unopened on her table. She promised herself she would look at it later, after her wedding preparations were done. But fate had already turned the page. Her stepsister, Anna Ashe, entered the house that afternoon, her smile sweet but her eyes sharp. "Oh, Julia," she said, "you're glowing. The wedding will be beautiful." And then she saw the envelope, the one marked private report. Curiosity turned to opportunity. Anna opened it, and what she read changed everything. The next morning, just hours before the wedding, Anna arrived at Sam's office. "Sam," she said softly, "you deserve to know the truth." She handed him the report. He unfolded it, and the words hit harder than any blow. "Early-stage carcinoma detected." "Cancer," he muttered. Anna nodded, pretending to fight back tears. "She didn't tell you. Maybe she wanted your sympathy, not your love." Sam's hands trembled. His face hardened. By the time the sun rose over their wedding day, his heart had already turned cold. Julia stood in her wedding gown, radiant and trembling, waiting for the man she loved. The priest began to speak. "Do you, Sam Reynolds, take Julia Hart?" Sam interrupted. "I can't." Gasps filled the hall. Julia's eyes widened. What do you mean?" And before she could take another breath, Anna stepped forward, her voice smooth as silk. "Because he's marrying me." The hall erupted. Julia's bouquet slipped from her hands and hit the floor. Her heart shattered with it. Later that evening, long after the guests had left and the lights had dimmed, Julia sat alone backstage, tears sliding silently down her face. That's when a gentle voice broke the silence. "Don't cry," it said. "Sometimes broken things become beautiful again." She looked up and saw a young man, the event organizer. He was simple, kind-eyed, and strangely familiar. "You sound too hopeful for a waiter," Julia murmured. He smiled. "Maybe I'm more than I look." And just like that, the stranger named Adrian Cole stepped into her life, and unknowingly, into her destiny. Days turned into weeks. Julia began to smile again, slowly, carefully. Adrian's presence was calm, like soft sunlight after a storm. He never asked for anything, never judged, never pitted. One evening, she noticed something, blueprints and chemical notes scattered across his small apartment. "What is all this?" she asked. Adrian hesitated. "It's my secret. I'm developing something, a cure." "A cure for what?" He looked her in the eyes. "Cancer." Her breath caught. "For me?" He shook his head gently. "For everyone. But now for you first." Julia cried, not from fear, but from the feeling of being seen for the first time. She whispered, "Would you marry someone who's dying?" Adrian smiled softly. "Only if she teaches me how to live." Their love became the quiet miracle science could not explain. Through nights of research and days of treatment, Adrian never left her side. When Julia finally opened her eyes one morning, Dr. Mitchell stood beside her, smiling. "Julia," he said softly, "it's gone. You're cancer-free." Her tears fell freely. He did it, he really did. Months later, a grand gala filled with cameras and applause celebrated Adrian Cole, the man who cured the incurable. On stage, under bright lights, he said, "This cure was not born in a lab. It was born in love." The crowd erupted. Julia stepped onto the stage beside him, glowing with life. Sam sat in the audience, frozen in disbelief. "Julia," he whispered, "you're alive?" She looked at him, calm and strong. "Alive," she said, "and healed, not by power, but by love." For the first time, Sam understood what it meant to lose something priceless. That night, beneath a fading orange sky, Julia and Adrian stood together on a quiet rooftop overlooking the city. "You gave me life twice," she whispered, "once with love and once with science." He smiled. "And you gave me purpose. Now we heal the world together." And as the city lights flickered below and the wind brushed softly through their hair, the world seemed a little kinder, a little more alive. Because when love meets purpose, miracles are born.